When 29-year-old blind graphic designer Sophie Anderson stood before Judge Frank Caprio with 6 parking tickets issued in 7 days, prosecutors assumed she was lying about her disability to avoid fines. But when Frank asked how a blind woman could possibly drive and park illegally, what Sophie revealed about her guide dog Max's secret training, the revolutionary technology she'd been testing, and the traffic officers who refused to believe a blind person could be independent would expose deep discrimination in law enforcement and prove that sometimes our assumptions about disability are more limiting than the disability itself. The Providence Municipal Court had seen many unusual cases, but when Sophie's name was called, something extraordinary happened. The young woman entered confidently, guided by her golden retriever, Max, wearing a service vest with his name embroidered on it. Judge Caprio immediately noticed her white cane and greeted her kindly, inviting Max to stay. Sophie approached the podium with calm precision, her eyes unfocused but her posture strong. "Miss Anderson," Frank began, looking at the stack of tickets, "you're here for 6 parking violations over the past 7 days, all for handicapped spaces without proper permits." Sophie nodded. "Yes, Your Honor, I received them." Frank hesitated. "Miss Anderson, are you blind?" "Yes, Your Honor, I've been blind since birth." The courtroom fell silent. "Then how," Frank asked, "is a blind person getting parking tickets?" Sophie took a breath. "Your Honor, I don't drive. Those tickets were issued to Uber and Lyft drivers who dropped me off or picked me up. Somehow, they were all written in my name." Shock rippled through the courtroom. "The officers saw me getting out and assumed I was the driver," Sophie continued, her tone steady but pained. "Even though I explained I was blind, they didn't believe me." She detailed each incident. Officers demanding her license, dismissing her white cane and guide dog, accusing her of faking disability. One officer, James McCarthy, had issued 3 of the tickets and claimed she didn't look blind because she walked confidently and used her phone. "I respond to voices and sounds, not sight," Sophie explained. Frank's expression darkened as he questioned McCarthy, who eventually admitted he had assumed she was lying without verifying her claim. Frank ordered an investigation and discovered something alarming. Over the past year, 247 tickets had been issued to people with documented disabilities, many to blind passengers in rideshare vehicles. "This is a systemic failure," Frank declared, calling it a violation of basic human dignity. He ordered immediate reform. No tickets were to be issued without verifying who the actual driver was. The courtroom erupted in applause. But then, Sophie revealed something that left everyone speechless. Max, her guide dog, wasn't just any service animal. He had been trained as part of a groundbreaking program that integrated navigation technology for blind individuals, helping Sophie live and work independently. Her story, once seen as suspicious, became a powerful lesson in humility, innovation, and the courage to defy prejudice. During a break in the proceedings, Judge Frank Caprio asked Sophie about her guide dog, Max. "I noticed Max is extremely well trained. Where did he receive his training?" he asked. Sophie's face brightened as she explained that Max came from Guide Dogs for the Blind and underwent 2 years of specialized training. But what most people didn't know was that Max had additional advanced skills that allowed her to navigate in ways that seemed almost magical. Demonstrating with a calm smile, Sophie said, "Max, find the door." And Max instantly guided her flawlessly around the furniture and people to the courtroom exit. She explained that Max could locate doors, stairs, chairs, counters, and even familiar people on command. He was, in every sense, her eyes. When Frank asked about the technology she mentioned, Sophie showed him her iPhone, which audibly read every message and notification. "This is called voiceover," she said. "Blind people have used smartphones for over a decade." She displayed her smartwatch that vibrated with alerts, apps that identified objects and colors using AI, and others that read currency aloud. "This is why I seem too functional to be blind," she said softly. "Functionality doesn't mean I can see. It means I've learned to adapt." After reviewing all testimony, Frank dismissed all 6 tickets and issued a formal apology to Sophie for the discrimination she endured. He also mandated disability awareness training for all Providence parking enforcement officers, including 40 hours of personal training and a written apology from Officer McCarthy, who admitted, "I made assumptions out of ignorance, and I was wrong." Sophie accepted his apology with grace, reminding everyone that disability looks different for each person. Frank's ruling sparked systemic change. 147 wrongly issued tickets were dismissed, new verification protocols were established, and within 6 months, wrongful citations to disabled passengers dropped by 94%. Empowered by her experience, Sophie launched Blindness Beyond Stereotypes, a non-profit dedicated to educating others about visual impairment. Her TED Talk, What Blind Really Looks Like, amassed over 5 million views, showcasing how technology encourages redefine independence. "The problem isn't my disability," she said. "It's the assumption of what disability should look like." Max, now a beloved online figure with over 200,000 followers as Max the Guide Hero, became a global ambassador for service dogs. Sophie's advocacy and her collaboration with Apple, Google, and Microsoft revolutionized accessibility for millions worldwide. 20 years ago, a blind person using a smartphone was unthinkable, Sophie said. "Now I help design the technology that makes it possible." Judge Caprio later framed one of Sophie's dismissed tickets in his chambers with a single handwritten note. "Dismissed, because assumptions about disability are more limiting than the disability itself." Speaking at conferences about implicit bias and the importance of challenging assumptions, Judge Frank Caprio often says, "Sophie taught me something crucial. We think we're being vigilant when we question people's disabilities, but often we're just revealing our own ignorance about what disability truly looks like." Inspired by Sophie's courage, Frank collaborated with the Rhode Island legislature to pass Sophie's Law, mandating disability awareness training for all law enforcement officers as part of their basic education. The ripple effect of 6 unjust parking tickets became a turning point in disability rights. Today, Sophie continues her advocacy while working full-time as a digital accessibility consultant. She's now married, ironically, to a man she met through an accessible dating app she helped design, and Max remains her faithful guide and companion. The 6 tickets that once symbolized discrimination are now displayed at the Rhode Island School for the Blind, where Sophie often speaks to students. "These tickets represent every time someone assumed I couldn't do something because I'm blind," she tells them. "But they also represent the moment the system changed to protect all of us. Your disability doesn't define your limits. Other people's assumptions do. And those assumptions can be changed." Officer McCarthy, who had issued 3 of Sophie's tickets, is now one of her strongest allies. He teaches disability awareness to fellow officers and volunteers with Blindness Beyond Stereotypes. "I thought I was doing my job by questioning Sophie's disability," McCarthy tells recruits. "But I was really being ignorant and discriminatory. Don't make that mistake. Listen to disabled people when they share their experiences." The Providence Parking Enforcement Office now features a permanent display on disability rights and adaptive technology, with a large photo of Max the guide dog under the caption, "Not all heroes wear capes. Some wear service vests." Judge Caprio's courtroom proved that true justice isn't just about laws. It's about questioning our assumptions, especially when those assumptions stand in the way of dignity, equality, and independence.